Hi everybody, it's Mike Pach with Three Peaks Photography. It's a beautiful day here in Colorado. I am at my favorite winter destination, which is the perfect place to practice long exposures with neutral density filters like the JetMag Pro magnetic filter system. We just got this. This is brand new, so I'm going to open up the box and see what's inside the kit. So we got a nice carry pouch with a little carabiner on it, which is great to clip on a bag or on a belt loop. And this is weatherproof as well. So we have our filters. So here's our cap. We have 3 different neutral density filters plus a true color circular polarizer. That was the back cap that I just took off. Here's the front cap. And we also have a series of adapters. You need to put adapter ring on your lens first, and then this has a magnet on it that will fit your filter or hold your filter. Let's see what this one is. We'll take a closer look at these in a little bit. This is a 77, so that's what I need for my lenses. So in this location, I like using a long lens to zoom in and get detailed shots of the water and the ice. So I have 77 millimeter diameter threads on this lens, which is my 70-200 and my 100-400. So I'm going to put this on first, like so, and then I'm going to grab a filter, and the filters are color coded to tell you what type you're using. So the blue ones are neutral density filters, and these are pretty strong magnets. My hands are really cold. There we go. All right, so we drop our filter onto here, and maybe you heard it snap with the magnet, and if we turn it, we can lock it. So this is the FSND8, which is 3 stops. I also have a 10 stop and a 6 stop. So I can easily stack these if I need to block more light for my photographs. And it just snaps right on there. And as I rotate it, it locks into place. Okay, so if you're using a DSLR and neutral density filters, then you need to figure out your equivalent exposures. So start with a good exposure without the filters, add the filters, and then calculate how many stops you need to adjust. You can watch my YouTube video on how to do that. If you're using a mirrorless camera, then you don't have to do any calculations. With the live view, once you put the neutral density filters on, you can see how that affects your exposure and also your histogram. So let's try putting this one on as well. Pretty cool. So now I have 19 stops of light on here. That's a lot of light that I'm blocking. I'm probably not going to need that for today. Maybe 6, maybe 10, but we'll test it out. And I'll show you what you can hear the water rushing by us right now. Show you what the river looks like, and then show you some of the pictures that I take with these filters. And here's the true color polarizer. So I just snap it on to the magnet, and then I can simply rotate it in order to get the polarizing effect that I need. And since we're out here with mud and snow, I'm using my Explorer tripod with the spikes on it so that I can jam it into the ground and make sure that my tripod's not moving around. This is the Explorer EXP Pro, which I really love, and we're gonna give it a shot. So let's take a look at what we're gonna be photographing. So here's the river and all the nice water going by. I'm gonna zoom in over here. I'm liking those rocks and that water there, so we're gonna give that a try and see what that turns out like. All right, let's take a look at some of the photos that I captured. The first 4 were taken with the 10-stop neutral density filter, and they were all taken with my 100 to 400 millimeter lens. This is a 15-second exposure f/16 ISO 800. Here's a closer look at that rock that was on the left-hand side in the first photo. This is 30 seconds f/11 ISO 400. I spotted this grass growing out of a rock in the middle of the water, and I thought it looked really cool. This one is 20 seconds f/16 ISO 100. And then here's a close-up look of that rock that was on the upper right in the first photograph. I love taking these photos and converting them to black and white. This is 20 seconds f/16 ISO 100. The rest are taken with the 6-stop neutral density filter. I love the color in this. The deeper water has a greenish color to it, and it really comes out in these long exposures. This is a 10-second exposure f/16 ISO 200. This shot I really had to work for. I had to climb up on a snowbank and shoot through some obstacles. This is 20 seconds f/16 ISO 100. This is my favorite shot. I think this ice looks like an alien spaceship flying through the clouds. This is 15 seconds f/16 ISO 200. And then this is my second favorite shot. I had a different composition at first, and then when I moved it, I realized that stream of water was going right down to the right-hand corner of the frame, and I really like that a lot. It's 30 seconds f/16 ISO 200. So here's a closer look at everything that's in the kit. So I have my adapter rings. I have the 77 millimeter on this lens already, and you need to start with that, and then I can add the filters as needed. That's the circular polarizer. I have the 3 neutral density filters right here. 10-stop, 6-stop, and 3-stop. And I can stack those on top of each other. I have my back cap and my front cap, and then the other adapter rings. Plus everything fits into this handy carrying case, which is really nice. And I am ready to go. So I want to give you an even closer look at the NiSi JetMag Pro magnetic filter system. There are various kits available, and we are looking at the Landscape Kit, and that contains 4 adapter rings, a circular polarizer, 3, 6, and 10-stop neutral density filters. So we're going to start off with an adapter. We have 82, 77, 72, and 67. And then we're going to add our filters as needed. And one thing I want to point out is that these tabs or handles on the filters are color coded to help you identify what type of filter that you're using. So you'll notice that all of the ND filters have blue tabs, and the circular polarizer has white tabs. All right, so let's start with this 100 to 400 millimeter lens. That takes 77 millimeter diameter filters, and I'm going to grab that adapter and just screw it on to the front of the lens like this. And there are white lines on opposite sides of the adapter ring, and those are important to align the filters and lock them in. Those are guides to let you know where the tabs are to lock the filters in place. So you can see there's this little lip right here and right here, and there's a corresponding fitting that allows you to lock the filters into place. All right, so let's start with a 3-stop neutral density filter. And you want to make sure that when you put this on, any filters on, that the filter is flush to the magnetic surface and it just snaps in like that. And now if I want to lock this in place, I want to grab it by the handles or tabs and then align it with the white line on the adapter ring. And now it is locked in place. I cannot pull it off until I rotate it beyond this white line. I can stack multiple filters onto each other. All I have to do is let the filter snap in with the magnet. And then if I want to lock these in place, just rotate by the tabs, line up with that white line that's on the adapter. And then I have to hold this one in place and then align the tabs together. And now they are locked in place. And I can even do this. Check that out. Okay, so that is solidly locked in place and these will not come out. If I want to protect the front of the filter, I can use the front cap and snap that on. And then if I want to lock the cap onto the other filters, I just align that tab as well. And now my filters are completely locked and fully protected. Okay, let's take a look at this 35mm lens. This takes 67mm threads. So I'm going to take the 67mm adapter and just screw it into the front. Remember, when we're installing filters and adapter rings, to just tighten it until it stops. You don't want to crank on it because then you'll get it stuck and you may have a hard time getting it off. So let's say I want to use the circular polarizer. I can just snap it in place, and then if I want to use the circular polarizer effects, all I have to do is rotate the filter by the tabs, and I can see the effect that I'm getting, the polarizing effect that I'm getting, and then I can just leave it in place wherever I get the effect that I want. Okay. If I want to put on another filter, I certainly can. And if I want to lock those onto each other, I can do that as well. So it's an easy system to use. And let me show you what we can do when we're storing our filters in our handy carry case. So I already have the front cap on the neutral density filters. If I want to take these off, I'll just pull them off of the adapter ring and then unscrew the adapter ring from the lens. Stack all my filters together. I can lock them in place if I want. Oops, that didn't go on all the way. There we go. And put this one on. And now I can put the back cap on. Lock that in place as well. And inside the case I have a wide slot in the middle that allows me to fit all of these filters into one spot. And then I can put my adapter rings in. And there you have it. Awesome. So all NiSi filters, NiSi lenses, Explorer tripods, and silence corner accessories are available through me on my retail website, adventurecamphoto.com.